Hi, I was supposed to call on cycle day 1 after my retrieval, and that is today.
Okay, just 1 second, okay?
Okay. Okay.
I've got 8:45.
Okay.
And also, Dr. Douglas's fee of $1,480. That's where you're transferred.
Okay.
You do tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's 8:45, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye. So it is September 22nd, first day of fall, and we are almost at the doctor in Dallas here. It's a rainy, yucky day out, but we are gonna go today to really start our frozen embryo transfer cycle, which is so exciting. And so today, I guess, obviously never done this before. Every new step is all new to me, other than from what I've seen, you know, online on YouTube and stuff. But I've done plenty of research. But so I think today the main thing that we're looking for is just like to see how my lining is looking, and make sure there's not any polyps or anything like that. They already did a saline sonogram on me. There was a potential polyp that they were watching, so today they'll probably just make sure that it isn't one, because I think they were leaning toward it was an air bubble because of the saline sonogram. It like produced air from pumping the saline in, so that's kind of what they were assuming, but they didn't know for sure. So I'm just praying that everything's smooth. I've never, to my knowledge, had any issues with anything like that. You know, since it is male factor infertility, I think this type of appointment is just like easier mentally on me than I know it is for some people. So I feel really blessed with that, because I kind of have an expectation that things are going to be good. So anyway, we're going to go and get that checked out, and then I don't really know what happened from there, to be completely honest. And every place is different. They may just say, you know, when I need to start the progesterone injections and to get those ordered. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. So I'm just believing that this is going to be the start of it, and we won't have any delays, and it's going to be good. Also, since our babies are here at this doctor's office, I feel like we're going, well, they're not at the office, they're in the lab, but I feel like we're going to visit them or something. It's so crazy. Just conception in general is so crazy, but IVF is so wild, because literally our babies are in this lab that we're about to be right next to. It's just crazy. So anyway.
Okay, Kim, everything looks just fine.
Okay.
Good to get started. I'll meet you in the hallway. I'll show you
Okay.
next.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
So you're going to start estrase today.
Okay.
And here's the prescription.
Okay.
And you just take that in your pharmacy. And then here's a prescription for the the estrogen patch.
Okay.
And so, and this is your copy.
Okay.
So you start estrase today. It's 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening.
Okay.
But just for today, you take your first one after 4 p.m.
Okay.
And then the other one like at 9.
Right. Okay.
You'll start your patch on the 25th. You're going to change it every other day. What these are doing is getting your lining nice and thick. So you'll come in on the 29th at 9:15.
Okay.
Then, and again on the 5th at 9:15.
Okay.
We're looking for a nice thick lining.
Okay.
If everything looks good on the 5th, you'll start progesterone injections on the 6th.
Okay.
Transfers on the 12th, and then your COVID testing would be on the 8th.
Okay.
And so I've still got to order your progesterone. I'm going to order your injection and then a vaginal progesterone that you'll use with the positive pregnancy test. Whenever you get your progesterone, do not refrigerate it.
Okay.
And when you come in on this day, we're going to sit down with you and show you how to do it and everything like that.
Yeah.
You're going to be on all these medications basically throughout the first trimester of pregnancy.
Okay.
So you don't stop anything. You don't stop the pill. You don't stop the patch.
Okay.
But that's really, it's a much easier process than the...
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, sounds great. Okay, so a little fertility update, a little IVF update. We are here at the clinic right now. I have to, let me tell you what day it is. It's September 29th. I almost said October. I was thinking it was already October. September 29th, I have to have some blood work done and a ultrasound. Basically, that's what you do every appointment whenever you come here. But basically just a standard appointment. These appointments are usually very quick, at least at my clinic. They're real fast. I mean, you go in, tell them, you know, they remember who I am, unless it's somebody that's not usually at the front, but just say your name and then pretty much they come out and get you. So anyway, really simple appointments, but I drive a couple hours to get here, so it's like, you know, not ideal, but I'll do whatever it takes. We'll do whatever it takes. So yeah, this is what it takes. So anyway, our babies are over there in the arts lab. And when I'm walking out, I can show you that a little bit, but they're over there in the freezer, cryopreservation or whatever. I guess they're not really in the freezer.
With the chicken and
they're in cryopreservation, but that's what it's called, right? Cryopreservation.
Yeah.
So yeah, about ready to go in. Manny can't go because of COVID. But I got my mask here. I'm gonna head in just a minute. First, I have to I brought my estrogen pill because I usually take it at 9 a.m. So first I have to take that before I go in because it's about 8:52. My appointment's at 9:15, so I have a little time, but I like to go in early.
Okay, already looks really good, 8.2 millimeters.
Okay.
That's terrific. All right, I'll meet you out in the hallway. I'll show you where we're going next.
All right, thank you.
We did lab work already.
Yes.
So you're coming back on the 5th?
Yes, I think that's
at
right.
9:15. Okay, has the pharmacy called with your progesterone?
Yes, and I actually already got it in.
Okay.
I've got it and it's ready.
Perfect.
So, yep.
Okay, don't put that one in the refrigerator.
Right.
Okay, all
Okay.
right. I will, everything stays the same.
Okay.
No change, and then we'll see you back for your next
Okay.
appointment.
Sounds so
okay?
good. And that area is where the babies are. So, good morning. It is actually, let me tell you the date so that we know. It's October 5th today. We are officially 1 week away from transfer. So we are going right now. This is really not the best lighting with the sun going in and out of the trees, but we are on our way right now to the fertility clinic and gonna have just like some blood work today, an ultrasound. That is, like I said last time, pretty much every appointment you go to, that's what happens. But today they actually are going to go over my PIO, progesterone and oil shots that I start tomorrow. They are intramuscular shots, like right above the butt, and they don't look fun. It's really just went black, so perfect. They do not look fun. I've not looked forward to these. I've said in these videos, I am not like a bad person with needles or anything. Like not a bad person. Yeah. I didn't say that right. I'm a person that really isn't bad with needles, or like it doesn't bother me. You know, like the stomach shots for like stimulating shots, that wasn't bad. I got a little anxious before the first one, but I think mainly just because we were doing it ourselves. We'd never done that. You know, it's just like a whole new thing and you don't know what to expect. But as far as the actual needle going in and whatever, that never really bothers me. I didn't think those were too painful. Menopause isn't fun at all. It stings a lot, but you know, it could be way worse. But these, I think, just because doing it yourself, it is a super long needle. It's thicker than the others. I mean, it's just different. You're putting oil in, so it's thick. I don't know what that's gonna feel like. So for some reason, and I've seen a lot of people saying this, because I see some people on YouTube and Instagram that are transferring around the same time as me, and so I've been praying for them too. But anyway, they've been saying, actually one of them started her shots yesterday, and she was saying that it was not bad at all, but that she was like hyperventilating before she did it, and she said she doesn't mind shots either, but it was just something about that shot. Our babies are in there, by the way. So anyway, we're gonna go in a minute. Manny can't actually go in, and I've said that before, into like the waiting room or anything because of COVID. So we've got masks here. Usually Manny's been waiting in the car because these appointments literally take like 15 minutes. We have masks, and Manny's actually probably gonna walk in maybe and wait in the hallway because I'm gonna see if when it comes to the time of them going over the shots with me that he can go in, because last time they let him do that, because he gives me the shots, and there's like virtually no point of me, you know, like watching how she does it or how she shows me, because I'm definitely not gonna give these to myself because of the location and all that kind of stuff. So I know people do it, but I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, we're about to go in.
Okay, lining thickness looks good. Remember, we like 8 millimeters or more. You're at 8.28.
Okay, that's good.
All right. I'll
right.
meet you in the hallway. I'll show you where to go.
Okay,
Good
thank
luck.
you. Thank you so much.
Never done these before.
I haven't.
Right?
Mm-mm.
Will your husband be giving these to you?
He will.
Okay, he's not here, is
He's
he?
here, yes.
Do you want to bring him in?
Sure, yeah. He's
And let
actually
me-
waiting in the hallway just in case.
You want to
Yeah.
call him and
Sure,
let him come
sure.
in so I can show him? Looks good. She is going to keep taking her estradiol tablet twice a day. She has a new schedule for her patch days, so she knows where to change. And you get to do progesterone injections. So now the fun part for you, right? They're not going to start until tomorrow, okay? And the timing is really important. So on Tuesday, tomorrow night, the first needs to be at 11 p.m., so that's late for a lot of patients. But after that, each evening between 7 and 9. This will happen. All of these medications continue until we tell you to stop, okay? So the transfer will be on the 12th. You know the COVID test is on the 8th, right? Okay.
Yes.
And you'll just go to the arts department between 1 and 2 p.m.
Okay.
All right? You can just hit that buzzer.
Okay.
Like when you did the retrieval. And after you do your transfer, you'll need to have 24 hours of bed rest. Okay? So the only thing that I'm taking off of this is that they're not keeping you after the transfer. Okay? So day of transfer, you can eat and drink. All right, you won't be put to sleep. It's real easy, like the sonogram. Show up with a partially full bladder, so we don't want you to empty right when you get there. Okay. When you're discharged, you're on total bed rest for 24 hours. So get up, go to the restroom only. May have spotting. That's normal. After your 24 hours, you can go back to your normal activities, with the exception of intercourse, exercise, and we don't want you to lift more than 10 pounds. Okay? Pregnancy test will be on the 21st. We'll do that in the office. So that's the next time we'll see you. We'll do a urine that morning, and then we'll also do blood work. So we're not going to change anything with your medication until your blood results come back. Okay? I'll walk you through how to do the progesterone injections, and I'll draw circles on her where they need to go. But then if you're at home and you're like, I can't remember, this is a good video that you can Google. So you can just Google Freedom Med Teach, all one word, and just look for the progesterone video, okay? The circles are right here. I'm going to put these on her. But basically, if you divide into 4, it's the upper outer quadrant. Okay? And I'll draw the circles on with the Sharpie, and then whenever you do the injections, you can just have her lie down on the bed, okay? And then I'll show you how to do them. All right? So you have all your progesterone at home? And it's not in the refrigerator?
No.
Perfect. So I know yours are big, but let's just say that this is the vial. When you take the top off, each time you do the injection, you'll need to clean with alcohol, okay? And then you should have either this pink or yellow syringes, okay? And those have a big needle, and this is to draw with, okay? So you would clean the top with alcohol, and then put the needle in, turn it upside down, make sure the needle is below the liquid, okay? And you'll just draw back to the 1.5. Alright. I always overfill and then just push it up to get the air out. Alright, and then just put that to the side. The 1.5 is right there. Okay. And then you'll take this big needle off, and you can dispose of that in your sharps container. And then they should have sent you smaller needles. And it'll be a 1 inch. Okay? And then you just push the air out until 1 drop of the medication comes to the top. Now it's ready to go. All right? So when you did the IVF, injections, you guys pinched
Mhm.
and went in.
Mhm.
For this, we want to pull tight. So if this is the circle, you'll clean it with alcohol, pull tight, and then straight in.
Okay.
Okay? Steady. The needle's in. Pull this back to make sure there's no blood in the syringe. If there is, just take it out, put a new needle, and then start over. I don't think that'll happen. But clean it with alcohol, pull it tight, straight in, fast like a dart, all the way in. Hold it, pull back, nothing. Push this through as fast as you can. It'll be thicker than what you guys are used to. Take this out, and then you'll massage deeply for 60 seconds. Okay? Don't use heat or ice. We want the medication to stay in the muscle because that's how you absorb it. Okay? And then you'll just throw all of this away.
Okay.
Go down, and it's in the V.
Okay.
Okay? Or just darken these circles
Yeah.
as you go.
Okay, so it is later in the day, and it's the same day, still October 5th. And so today we went in for our little, I don't know why I say little when I'm trying to think of what I'm saying, but anyway, went in for our ultrasound and blood work, which we always got our sonogram and our blood work, well, my blood work, and my sonogram, but anyway, it's ours, you know, for our journey. So everything looked good. You probably heard, but my lining is at 8.8, and they say that they want it to be at 8. So last week it was 8.2, and so this week, like a week later, actually like a little bit less than a week later, tomorrow will be a week later, it was 8.2. Now it's 8.8, so it's grown by 0.6, thickened, I guess you should say, by that much. And so that's good. And we have a week until our transfer, so it'll obviously keep thickening, you know, because I'm still on the same medication. I'm staying on estrace, estriol, whatever you want to call it, estrogen pills, the estrogen patch, and tomorrow we start progesterone injections, which I've never done. Like I said, shots don't usually bother me, but these are like totally different. To do at home, and like it's you know, it can get overwhelming if you let it, but we just really tried to stay positive about the whole thing and what a privilege it is to be able to do this, you know, to like be able to do IVF, to be able to have treatment, to have this option available to us. You know, there was a time when we thought that this option may not be available. You know, we thought that it may just be like a permanent issue. I never believed that, and Manny never believed that, but it was mentioned by the one doctor that, you know, we weren't extremely thrilled with, that, you know, may not even be an option for us to do IVF anymore. And so it was like, it's just a privilege to be able to do it. And so really I've tried not to complain, but of course it's, you know, physically, to be honest, it isn't as hard as I'd expected for me. That varies from person to person. Of course it isn't fun. You know, I'm about ready to go into butt shots every day, and I did stomach shots, you know, and there's things like, it isn't like a joy, it's not like fun, but I think there's joy in it, and you know, it's exciting, and you just have to be able to find that. But I'm just sitting here right now drinking some tea before I go to bed. The estrogen has made me, I think, kind of anxious, and I've been reading that that's like a normal side effect that's like really common, I guess, with it. I didn't know that, so kind of further proves that I am having that side effect, because it wasn't just because I read it. I've like actually started feeling it, and then I kind of started researching it. So I actually heard somebody mention it after I'd been feeling that way, and I was like, maybe that's what's going on, because I've just been feeling this nervous feeling, and not just when I think about certain things or whatever, just in general. And so I'm trying to rest and relax and everything as much as possible. But it's really crazy that a week from today we're gonna have an embryo transfer. It's like, I was telling Manny tonight, it's like you lead up to it, and obviously you know you're working toward a baby, and you obviously that's the goal, and that's like, you will do anything for that. IVF has really shown me more than I think I've ever experienced the love of a mother. Infertility, you know, fertility issues, I don't claim infertility over us, but fertility issues, you know, did that as well. But literally a mom and a dad, like a good parents, will do anything for their babies, and that this has proven it 10 times more to me. And not that I, you know, ever questioned that, but it's just really like even every little thing that I don't really want to do that probably if it wasn't for a baby, I maybe would complain about a little more. I'm just like, let's do it. Let's get this done. I'm just, you know, very like goal oriented about it. Like I just have to get through this. I have to do this for these babies. Like I would literally do anything, literally anything. And so, you know, if you tell me that you will give me like every dream I've ever had, you know what I mean? And all I have to do is give a shot in my butt, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it gladly. And so anyway, now it's getting really real, because before it was kind of like, you know, obviously we knew we were working toward embryo transfer, so blessed to have embryos to transfer. Like we knew we were working toward that. But it's kind of like you're working towards, you know, you're okay, I gotta take this pill at this time, because times are important with IVF. Everything's timed. Your life is very timed. So, you know, I've got to take this at this time. I've got to make sure that I'm home for this, or I have to make sure that I'm home for this shot or this thing. Or it really starts to take over areas of your life, and that's, you know, again, not complaining about that, but it's just a lot of thinking about the logistics of it. Whereas now we're a week away from transfer, and I'm starting to think like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. You know, and it's like that realization starts to hit, like, wow. And I haven't told anybody. I'm going to say that in this. I've not told anyone that the transfer is in a week. Nobody knows when the transfer is, because I've known for a while. But nobody knows, because even my mom, which is really hard for me, and all day I've gone back and forth on if I should tell her, and I'm not keeping it from her to keep it from her at all. I would love to tell her, but I really wanted it to be like a surprise. I know she'll be excited even if she knew, she'll be so excited about a pregnancy, but I really wanted to keep it just a surprise, that I could just surprise her that we did it, I'm pregnant. Like I wanted to keep it that way, and Manny likes that as well, because IVF does kind of take some of that surprise factor, because your family usually, and some of our friends and, you know, our boss and everything, like they know that we're going through this process. So it doesn't take away from the excitement factor. It actually adds to it, I think, because you know what that person has gone through. Like we know what we've gone through to get to this point, so it adds to the excitement. But as far as a surprise for people, I wanted to make sure we keep some surprises in there, you know. So anyway, I'm just feeling really grateful and really like, I don't know, it's weird. I feel so excited, but like I said, the estrogen's kind of got me, my nerves are kind of a lot right now. I'm tired. Fatigue's been very common throughout this process for me, and I know progesterone actually amps that up from what I've heard. So we'll see how I feel. But I've got my marks. Can't show those obviously because of the location, but I've got my marks from the nurse, which I love my nurse. She is so sweet, and I really love our clinic. And today she asked me if I was okay, you know, if I was like really freaking out about it, because she says that she knows that online they kind of make things look really bad, and she says that it's not as bad as it sounds. And so far with everything, she's been right, because she's told me that about every other part. I have to get a COVID test in a couple days too. I have to go back and get a COVID test. I got a COVID test before egg retrieval, and I have to get a COVID test before transfer as well. So Thursday I have to go back. Today's Monday. Thursday I have to go back and get a COVID test, and then transfer is Monday morning. So it's wild. I'm so excited to meet these babies, and yeah, I'm just so excited for everything that's gonna happen. I just know God is in this, and I feel it so much that He is closing a chapter for us that has been extremely painful, and I just feel that we're on the tail end of it, and I'm so thankful. So yeah, I think it's really hitting me tonight that this is really happening, and I want to talk to my mom about it more than anything, but I also want to keep it a surprise, so we'll see if I can do that. I don't know why I'm just like, I'm so scared, but I don't know why. There's no way this is gonna feel okay.
You're
I'm so angry about it. I hate it.
Okay. It's just your hormones. That's all that is. Your hormones are just acting up.
It's not fair.
Yeah. I know.
And will you count to 3 before you do it?
You want me to?
So that I know.
Okay.
You think that's good if I know?
Yeah.
Do you want that to be?
That way you're not going to jerk or move or something. Or I'm
Ready?
going to pass out.
Alright, count to 3. I can do this, Mom. Help me.
You ready?
That's right. 1, 2,
2, 3.
3. We got this. Yes.
Wow.
We got this. We got it. We got it. We got it.
Okay. This is a joke.
We got it.
I'm not kidding. That is easier than any shot I've ever done. Wow. I'm not kidding. That was easier than the stomach shots any day. What in the world?
That's it.
That was so easy. I'm being serious.
Alright, what's the...
I mean, like, I literally
Is that good?
barely... It's like you flicked me or something. I wouldn't have known he gave me a shot. Okay, so I'm laying in bed and we did the shot. I had my first IVF breakdown, which came way later than I expected it to. I didn't have one. Well, I guess I kind of did before egg retrieval, but then they gave me the medicine. I got over it. But, anyway, this is my experience with PIO, and this is probably not obviously going to be everybody's experience, but that was, and I am not kidding, the easiest shot I've ever done. Now I know the after effects, or what people say are what are a lot worse. Like you bruise really bad, you get super sore, and I mean, you can imagine you're doing a shot in your muscle every day, you know, so obviously it doesn't feel great. So that part I don't know about yet, but the actual shot going in was not bad at all. Actually, Menopur is probably like the one that you do in your stomach is probably like 10 times worse than that one. I'm being serious, or at least for me. Now I know there's people that don't even think Menopur hurts. I thought it was, you know, it stung really bad when the actual medicine was going in. So don't let the size of the needle freak you out, because for real, if you, like, I didn't watch them do it, you never know that it was like that. You don't really feel much at all, or at least I didn't, so you may have that same experience. I didn't ice or anything like that or use heat because my nurse actually told me not to do that. I know a lot of people do it. If your doctor tells you can do it, then go for it, but they just told me not to, so I didn't. I didn't do any ice or anything with my stomach shots either. I just figure, you know, might as well not use it just in case it were to hurt anything. So anyway, very simple. I'm happy about that, and I'm looking forward and believing for a lot of weeks of doing this. So I'm excited about it and feel really thankful we get to do it. Also, I think the breakdown wasn't so much about the shot, but I think it was mostly like I have so many hormones in me right now, and it just gets overwhelming. And I think if you've done IVF, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's just a lot, and there's times when you're just like, oh, this is great, I can do this. And honestly, I've been like that most of the time, but there's been a couple of those little moments where it's like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. And it gets overwhelming. But anyway, it's good, and Manny's a great doctor, and he's been helping a lot. He massaged it for a while after, which felt really good, probably because a needle just went in my muscle. But anyway, it's late because we had to stay up late, so I'm gonna go to bed.
Hey, over a little bit.
People say it's better if your leg is hanging off the bed. She didn't tell me that, so. You drew it up. Hey, did you change the needle?
Oh, yeah. Pull up. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Is that anyone?
No. The easiest shot I've ever had. You pull up?
Yep.
No blood? Easy peasy.
Hold up on the needle.
Alright, little update on IVF. We're at the, whatever it's called.
Focus the name.
The fertility clinic or whatever, is October 8th. And I have to go in. Transfer is Monday as long as I test negative for coronavirus today. So we're hoping. We're hoping for that. I feel fine, but nobody really knows, you know, how this works. So anyway. Good morning. Weird lighting again because the sun is right there. But anyway, it is October 12th, which is supposed to be transfer day. Potentially still is. We're not sure. So basically I came for my COVID test the other day and it was negative. But I found out later that day that I was exposed to somebody the day before that test. So this past Wednesday, a couple people actually that have COVID now that tested positive after that. And even after my test, they tested positive. So I called my clinic and was just honest about it and was like, you know, do I need to do another test? Like, would that one show? Because I don't, you know, COVID's new and we don't really know a lot. So anyway, they said that it probably wouldn't show because I did my test the day after. So they want me to come in today, which is transfer day, and do another test, a rapid test this morning that they should have the results to really fast, I guess. And if it's positive, our transfer cycle will be canceled until probably next month, which I was very, very upset about, to be honest. Not even, I mean, obviously I want to have this baby and I don't want to wait any longer, but I know the babies are there and they're safe, and I've had to repeat that to myself. But also, you know, you pay a lot of money for a frozen embryo transfer cycle, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, because you go to a lot of appointments and insurance doesn't do very good with fertility stuff. At least mine and most, the vast majority, cover nothing with infertility. So, you know, you're essentially out that money and all your time. We drive 2 hours every time we come here, really basically three, like 2.5. We're pretty much in the car 6 hours when we come here. So it takes our whole day, and it's just like frustrating, and I've been looking so forward to October 12th being transfer day. So I'll keep you updated. I'll go in in like 10 minutes probably and get another test. I hate these COVID tests. I'm tired of COVID. I'm over it, but I'll let you know how it goes. Okay. It's a go, y'all. No COVID. We're about to do this. But Manny can't be in there and I can't film. I'm so sad. I hate COVID. But you know what? We're bringing a baby home. Let's do it. I could cry. Okay, so texting Manny. I can't obviously have him in here with me. I was drinking water. I chugged a bottle of water because you have to have a full bladder, or at least I think my clinic might say half full. But I'm in here on the bed. I think she said it happens on this bed, but in a different room. So it's like, honestly, I didn't know if that COVID test was gonna check out. So when they came out and were like, you're good, I was like, okay, I am now, like, all of the excitement that I've kind of been not sure if I could have today is surfacing, and I am so pumped, and I'm so sad Manny can't be in here. I could cry about it, but I'm not going to. Because like he said, we can at least bring our baby home, and that's the most important thing. I can't film in there either. I tried to get to do that, but I understand, you know, I like to follow rules, so I like to know what they are. But yeah, we're all good, and it's gonna be amazing. I told God, if this is the day to do it, let it be the day. If not, and my COVID test is positive or whatever, I know there's a better day. So I believe that today is the day, and I'm speaking life, praying life over my womb. In Jesus' name, I just speak life over my womb. Hi. Yes, yeah.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Ready to go? Excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Except for your second COVID test.
Yeah.
Never fails.
Thankfully, it's good.
Yeah.
I was nervous about that.
Well, this is also a very good embryo. So
Okay.
we thought it out not too long ago because we were waiting for your negative test to come back first.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So it hasn't really had a chance to like re-expand or anything
Okay.
like that. So which is kind of why it's kind of a little collapsed is what we call it.
Okay.
We have to remove all the water that's inside the embryo before we freeze it.
Okay.
So it's in that process of starting to re-expand and
Okay.
bring on that water again. But otherwise, it's looking perfect for where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Any questions?
I don't think so.
All
no.
right. First baby pictures for you.
All right. Awesome.
And then I do have one consent here for you to sign. This
Okay.
is just saying that we're transferring a single embryo today.
Sure.
I'd get you to sign right down there.
Okay.
All right. And if you think of any questions, just grab one of the nurses. They can come grab me, but we'll probably get you going here shortly.
Okay. Thank
All
you
right?
so much.
No problem.
I can't believe it. Oh, that's our baby.
Okay.
We put the embryo in, you lay here for just a few minutes, and then you go home and you lay around for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Feel free to roll over, side stomach back, doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
Feel free to go to the bathroom whenever you need to. Your embryo won't fall out. Eat anything, makes no difference. Real critical, you stay on all your pills, your patches, your shots, and all those things. Tomorrow when you wake up, you get up, you return to your normal daily functions. Just do not do any exercising, heavy lifting, anything like that.
Okay.
Everything else perfectly okay.
Okay.
Questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No,
Let me get my attire on and we'll go back.
All right.
All right, buddy.
All
Come
right,
on.
I'm in the car and I'm gonna show Manny the baby.
Okay, stop.
Huh? See it? It's coming out right there. That's
Right
the
there.
actual baby part. She didn't say
Inside
that,
my
but I
head.
know that. Yeah.
Okay.
But she said that it will expanded more by the time they put it in. It was just that was when they first thought it out, so it was all stuck together.
That's the cutest baby I ever
I
see.
know, it's pretty cute, isn't it? It's in there. It took it about 2 seconds to get in there. Let me go after that. Okay. I know I look rough. We have the air going too, but I know I look pretty bad. Our electric was out this morning and just all kinds of stress in my mind, so I literally went looking rough. I didn't care. Procedure, I know you can probably hear the air conditioning. We're in Texas, so even though it's October, that's what it sounds like. The procedure, the transfer, was really smooth and really simple. I really love my team. They're so sweet, and one particular nurse, man, I love them all. One of the nurses at the lab, I just really connect with her, and I got her again this time for part of it, and the other nurse that I had in the actual procedure was really awesome too. So they're all really good. I haven't had an experience with anybody being rude or anything like that. My doctor is awesome. But anyway, just brought me in. I couldn't record anything in there, but brought me into the like OR, kind of, it's the same room actually where I had my egg retrieval. It brought me in there, and you're like sprawled out. It's more exposed than like your pap smears and things like that if you're not familiar with infertility, or if you're familiar with like all the IVF stuff that you get. It's a little more exposed than that. You're like, they're pulling, even your stomach is out. Like, I was fully out, but it's whatever. It's not even that awkward. The lab was like, you could see it in the lab. And like, I'm just exposed, but you know what? That's how that works. And labor and delivery is gonna be like that too. So anyway, I've gotten completely over that through IVF. I used to hate that kind of thing, but now I literally don't care. Just whatever you gotta do. But brought me in there, and then he just put the speculum in. They came in, verified who I am. In IVF, they do that a ton for obvious reasons. They ask you your name and date of birth like all the time. Even if they know it, they have to ask, and they have to be able to see it on your little wristband here. So anyway, the embryologist, you actually heard her talking in the clip about how good the embryo looked, and she said it was the first baby picture. But anyway, so she came in and she's the one that verified my name and everything. Well, then she went back, put the speculum in, and then the embryologist, same one that I talked to, came in with the embryo, said it was one embryo for me. And so she gave the embryo to the doctor, and she watched him do it. But it was like a 2-second thing. I mean, it's really simple. I know some people are longer than others. I think it kind of depends on how easily they can get in. He also cleaned my cervix too, and that kind of felt weird. He's done that before, but I don't know, for some reason it felt kind of weird. None of it was painful, other than the fact that I really had to pee, because you have to have a full bladder. They're pressing on your stomach a little bit, so it's, you know, not too comfortable. But anyway, so it was like 2 seconds. Doctor said it went perfect. He pushed me back to the room, and I laid for 15 minutes, and then was able to get up and finally go to the bathroom. But we have our little picture still here that I already showed you, and we're gonna get some McDonald's fries, because I know people do that after transfer. It's like a IVF thing. I don't think it really does anything, but it's like an IVF tradition that people do. A lot of people that are transferring today that I see on Instagram have already gotten theirs and have talked about it, so I like them anyway. So I'm gonna go and do that, and I'm pregnant and staying pregnant, and right now me and Manny, and the doctor's the only ones who know that, so it's exciting. All right, we got the fries. Tradition. Okay, so we're home. It's such a long drive. I was just laying back in the car. Because I am on bed rest today, I can get up to, like, you know, go to the bathroom and things like that, or to eat or whatever. But I'm supposed to be laying down for most of the day. Tomorrow I'm back to like normal activities, other than I can't work out really. I can like go on walks, they said, or like just basically anything vigorous like that. But I can go to work and like do normal things like that. And obviously the embryo doesn't just fall out, so that isn't the reason. I think it's just like, you know, to make sure you rest that day. But yeah, I'm resting a lot. We called my mom. We're gonna wait until a positive pregnancy test to tell my mom, and actually to tell our whole family. But we told my mom today because she was gonna figure it out. So we told her today. It was actually, I wish I would have recorded it. She had such a good reaction. She cried when I showed her the embryo picture. And then we called Manny's sister. We were actually trying to call both of his sisters. His dad's already asleep because they're in England, if you don't know, and so it's a different time. But yeah, only one of his sisters answered. His other sister actually just had a baby. She's so cute. So you know, she's obviously probably really busy and exhausted and everything, but we talked to one of his sisters, and yeah, so that was fun. We kind of told her what was going on and that they did it today, showed her a little embryo picture. And I'm probably going to take a nap before long. I'm just really tired because we had to wake up really, really early today because the doctor is like 2.5 hours away. So we have to wake up really early, and plus there's traffic. Like Dallas traffic is always crazy. Always. It doesn't matter what time it is or what day it is. It's always crazy. So anyway, it's been such a good day. I'm so thankful that I do not have COVID, and so thankful that the embryo transfer went perfect, as the doctor said. Like everything went great, went smooth. Embryo looks great. The baby looks great. I'm just really believing that this is it, and years of pain can be behind us, and we'll never forget it. I never want to forget those years because I think it helps you to relate to other people and to have compassion. But we're finally in a new era, and I really believe that. So Manny made me some tea, which is really sweet. Some peppermint tea, which sounded so good. So I'm gonna go drink that. All right, here we are. 4 days. Is this the 4th day?
We started on Tuesday, right?
We did the transfer Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 4 days past 5-day transfer. About to do PIO. I have literally not gotten ready. Well, I did one time since the transfer. So I look rough. I need to shower. I have been sleeping my life away. And yeah, when I'm not doing something else, I'm either like doing something that like I need to do or asleep. And I have not cleaned anything. I haven't done anything. I am tired. Probably a lot to do with like progesterone, you know, takes a big toll on your body. I know a lot of people say that about progesterone. I haven't had any huge reactions or anything, but honestly, the shots have been relatively easy for me. I'm sore today on the one side we did last night, but honestly not as sore as I was in the beginning. At the very beginning, I for real like couldn't even sleep well. I know people say that happened to them. Every time I would roll, it would wake me up. I mean, it was beyond like working out muscle soreness. It was really bad. But then after a couple days, that actually went away. I wasn't even sore for a few days. Like, it felt pretty good. I mean, if I pressed on it, it was sore, but not from walking. And then from last night's shot, I got a little sore on that side. But the more you move around, just like with any other sore muscle, it does get better. They're really not bad. The shots actually going in are like very simple. I had one that was rough. But that was because we did it close to where we had done it before. You have to kind of space them out a little bit within the area that you have. That helps a lot. And switch sides every day. But yeah, really not too bad. So it looks way worse than it is. If you are maybe doing your first PIO and you've gotten to this point in the video and you're like, I cannot do this. I know that feeling because I had a panic about it. Just because of where it is, like you don't want to hit the wrong spot, you don't want to do the wrong thing, you just, you know, it's obviously a lot of pressure for somebody who doesn't, like, I'm not like a doctor, you know. But Manny pretty much is. He's gotten really good at shots. I've never given one still through this whole process. But all you gotta do is lay down, or some people stand up. I guess you could. I never have. You just have to take your weight off that leg that you're doing, like the side that you're doing. But I just lay down. I try to relax as much as I can because I've noticed that area actually stays kind of tense for a second. You have to like intentionally relax. So I just take some breaths, relax all muscles, which I know is kind of opposite of what you want to do when a needle's going into your behind, but it's okay. You have to not think about it. Take a deep breath, and you can do it. You can do it with me tonight. So get your shot ready. We'll do our shots together. They're not that bad, trust me. I mean, I know everybody has a different experience, but I think if you have a positive attitude about it and you just relax, pinches a little bit. Some nights I didn't even feel it. One night particularly, literally I didn't know if the needle was in. That's how light it was. And then of course some nights it's kind of like, ooh, that was a little bit of a pinch, you know, but it's not anything crazy. So let's do it.
This one?
Yeah. So another key component to this is massages after. That's a key. Let's see what I can show, because one night we made sure to not show anything. Because you can do that. It's up high enough, at least on my body, that it can be like, you don't have to show like your whole butt or anything, but if you get a little bit wild, it'll show everything. So I'm trying not to show everything, but because it's really not like, it's not right on your butt cheek. They say butt, but it's not right on your butt. It's like a little bit different, a little bit higher. I still draw in the circles. I don't know how good that is to draw ink on yourself like that every day, but I'm super nervous about doing it in the wrong spot, so I've still been drawing like the little circles with a Sharpie. I don't know if that's good, but I feel like it's definitely better than putting a needle into a nerve. So
You ready?
well, you had to change the needle. I ask him that every day.
No.
Make sure you check for blood too.
I forgot to change the
Let me relax.
You're gonna get poked.
Let me relax for a second. I don't think I'll be able to show it with the, just let me relax.
Ready?
Whenever you're ready. Count.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
Wasn't?
No. Checking for blood in the syringe. I'm able to talk right through them. I mean, literally, I feel right now a little pinch that I may not even really notice if I wasn't. I mean, it's just tiny with the PIO or the oil going in. I guess it's the PIO, the progesterone and oil. It's oil, so it's a longer shot, you know, even though he...
Done, I just leave it in there.
Yeah, he's done for a sec. He's done now, but... well, I guess it's really not longer because they say, or at least our clinic told us to put it in really fast. I know some people say to do it slow, but we were told to like just basically try to press it in fast because it really won't go that fast because it's oil. Now he's doing the massage. This part is vital. I really think that's why I haven't gotten any lumps at all or bruises. I have no bruises. I've been doing this for a while. So the massaging, and Manny does it, I mean, he does like a deeper massage after. It feels really good after the oil has just been injected. But yeah, he does it for a little bit, and it really has helped with the, I'm assuming, with the lumping. I don't know what it would be like if we didn't do that, but I have no lumps, no bruises, soreness, you know, that's to be expected. You're putting a needle in your muscle every day. But I don't really have any bad side effects. Last night it itched a little bit, which hadn't happened. But you can expect that again. That happened the same thing with my stomach shots. Sometimes they would itch just from irritation, I'm sure. But anyway, simple. You can do it. Trust me, it's not as bad as it seems.
We need to take the...
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I don't even know what to do. I've never seen this before.
This is the cheap one.
This is 7 days past transfer on a cheap test. There's a visible line. You can even see. It's not even a squinter. Manny did it, and he said he wouldn't tell me if it was pregnant or not because I'd get stressed out. You guys, we are pregnant. We're definitely on a digital 7 days past. So that's a good level. I have never been more happy in my life. Literally. So next morning, doing some more tests. Exciting. This one's still progressing, but there's a line. You can tell it's still progressing. Those are a little bit slower. Still a little bit pink in there, so it takes a few minutes. And then this one is a very not sensitive, like a dollar tree test, I think. All right. Good morning. We just pulled up to the fertility clinic. We are going today. I'm going in to get my blood test done, my beta test, which is the pregnancy test that they do after IVF. If it's just a natural pregnancy, you actually have probably never dealt with this exact thing. You'll get a blood test, but it would be a little bit later. Normally, the natural pregnancy, you just call them, tell them, hey, I got a pregnancy test, and you come like, you know, maybe like 6 weeks, something like that, and they kind of confirm it unless you just really want it to be confirmed or unless you have some kind of issue. But with IVF, they confirm it right away. So I'm 4 weeks today. I already know that I am pregnant. I've taken a million tests of every kind. I took another one this morning and it was good and dark. And so I'm expecting a good, you know, level of HCG because I've been taking some like cheap tests that aren't as sensitive and they're still getting good and dark. So that's a good thing. Although pregnancy tests are not designed to tell you how much HCG you have, but if they're dark, it does mean, you know, they're obviously picking up a good amount of it, so that's good. We're gonna go in, or I am. Manny still can't go in because COVID. Hopefully this ends soon so that he can go in for pregnancy appointments. I'm really hoping that people will just help us to end this, but I'm gonna get my mask and go in. It should only take a couple minutes, so I'm gonna go in. Hello?
With Dr. Douglas?
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
We got your labs back. Everything looks great.
Okay.
Your pregnancy hormone level is 162,
Okay.
which is really good. We like to see it above 50.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to continue the pill and the patch just like you've been doing.
Okay.
And then do you have the vaginal progesterone?
I do, yes.
Okay. So, and then what you're going to do is you're going to decrease your injection to 1 cc.
Okay, 1, okay.
And then you're going to start the vaginal progesterone twice a day.
Okay.
Morning and night.
Okay.
Okay? And then you'll come back in on Friday and we'll check your pregnancy hormone again.
Okay, so the same time and that'll be tomorrow?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
You started this morning?
Okay.
All right.
What?
This morning, do you start your...
The suppositories, do I start those tonight?
Start 'em- you can go ahead and start them now.
Okay,
Start
great.
one now, and then
We're
one
in
at
my
bedtime. And then that
Okay.
way tonight you only have to do 1
Great, okay.
injection.
Okay. Good morning. It's October 23rd and just went to the fertility clinic and got my second beta done. They're just looking for the numbers to double on this beta and apparently I'm almost done. Apparently I'm almost done at this clinic, which I thought I would be with the fertility clinic for longer. But I got a paper today that says that it's like for my new like OB, because obviously I have to get a, if you don't know, it might not be obvious, but you don't stay with the fertility clinic for your whole pregnancy. You do end up just going to a regular like OB and regular pregnancy after a certain point. So every clinic is different with when they do that. They gave me a paper today for my new OB, and it just basically is a letter to them saying that I'm their patient and that I'll be released from their care on the 11th of November after my fetal ultrasound. So apparently they're just doing 1 ultrasound. I mean, I think when they call me with my blood work, they'll tell me that because they usually do that. Like they'll call you and then tell you what's next. She just gave me this today because I'm assuming I won't, you know, be back until then and probably want you to find an OB before it's like the day you need one. So, yeah, anyway, gave me a whole list of medications that are safe for pregnancy. I can't believe it's like it happens all of a sudden. Like you go there and you go to all of these like appointments trying to get pregnant, and then you just show up and they're like, well, you're pregnant, here you go, here's your medication you can take and here's your release form. Which is really good, but it's crazy that we're already there. I'm so thankful, so excited. Just feel so blessed that we actually get this experience. And I'll be honest, even though I'll do anything for this baby, I would drive this distance, this whole pregnancy, if that's what was needed. Manny would do that, but we drive a long way to this clinic. And today it's like a nasty, just rainy, gross day. It was so hard to get here. It was like took longer than normal, big deal. And it's just so nice that actually pretty soon we'll be able to go like more locally, because where we live there's no like reproductive endocrinologist or anything like that. You have to travel for that. So anyway, really excited, and yeah, so excited for the ultrasound. Okay, so my camera was in the car when the nurse called with our second beta results, and I didn't record it in time. And as soon as we always hang up, or whenever we hang up, I always forget if I don't record what she said. So I have to ask to confirm this is what she said, but I'm pretty sure she said that it was 362 today, and she did say like it doubled. Like it should have been, actually when I did the math, it was a little bit more than double. It wasn't like exactly double, it was a little bit more. So I know I'm pretty sure she said 362. It could have been 380 something, but I think 362. So anyway, that's really good. We're really excited with that. And then I guess now we just wait. When I'm 7 weeks, I go in for my ultrasound. We go in, I'm saying me because I'm honestly hoping that they let Manny come in, but with COVID and everything, it's been like he hasn't been able to come in with restrictions and stuff. So I really want him in there for this ultrasound, but even if not, like we'll make it work. I can record there, which is huge, because in a lot of places they don't let you record, so they are nice enough to let me record things other than transfer, because that was like in a surgery kind of room, I think is the reason. But everything at the doctor's office I can record. He told me that I could, so anyway, that's really good. But yeah, we just go back, and it's actually not even that far away, which is really weird, but I think 3 weeks is what it would be, and get our first ultrasound. This is so unreal and so exciting. Good morning. It's November 11th today. Just a few days away from my birthday, and we're getting a little early birthday present today, because I get to go into the fertility clinic for the first time and see our baby. So I'm saying I get to because you might be watching this years later and it seems weird, but with COVID-19, Manny hasn't been able to come in. I am going to ask. I pretty much know the answer, and they probably know that I know that answer, but just because it's such a special appointment, I am gonna say like, am I allowed to come in at all for this appointment? And they're probably gonna say no, but I'll feel bad if I don't ask. So I'm gonna just try it. If not, you know, we'll get through it. It's obviously sad, but I'm gonna record. They let me record in here, so that really, really helps. They don't mind that at all, so I'll record whatever on the screen and everything. So yeah, I'm 7 weeks pregnant today, and I get to see the baby and the heartbeat and all the stuff. I'm feeling really excited about it and feel really good. I got really nauseous yesterday. I think around 7 weeks I'm starting to get a little more of the nausea, but nothing insane yet. Hopefully it doesn't get crazy. If it does, honestly, I'll be happy. I was happy yesterday that I had nausea, just like a reminder that I'm pregnant. You know what I mean? When you're in these early stages and you haven't seen the baby yet, it's like, I mean, I have other symptoms, but I just feel like nausea is like the king symptom that everybody is like looking for. So it makes me feel good, to be honest, to have some symptoms. So I'm not complaining about that. But anyway, we're gonna go in a minute. Manny is gonna go in. He can't come in the waiting room, but he'll wait out in the hall. He does that sometimes anyway. But if they do end up letting him come in for the ultrasound, then he'll be close. So anyway, let's do it. Before we go in, because we have a few minutes, I also wanted to say, because I know a lot of people won't be familiar with this process, but this is also, I know a lot of people don't get ultrasound this early when it's not like through IVF. This is also an ultrasound where it will tell you whether you're having 1 or 2 babies. And so there is a chance that we could be having twins. I don't think we are. We only did, we did a single embryo transfer, so that means 1. But embryos, anytime, even in natural pregnancies, can split. That's how you get identical twins. So there is a higher chance of embryo splitting with IVF. It's actually, from my research, it's significantly higher, but still low, if that makes sense, because that's a really rare occurrence. You know, identical twins, even though you do see them, they are actually pretty rare in the grand scheme of things. So we will find that out today too, if there's 1 or if there's 2. I would say probably definitely 1, but I don't know, it's just kind of fun that you kind of can wonder, you know, before or after those, you'll be able to wonder anymore. So I've never really thought much of it, because I don't really think that we're having twins. But if we'd put both of our embryos in, I do think we'd be having twins. Now that everything went so smoothly, I do think it would have happened. But we were, you know, kind of hesitant to do that, just in case maybe my lining wasn't right now, or something was wrong to where it didn't work. We didn't want to go ahead with both embryos, and doctors don't love to do that. They don't like to do 2 embryos because twin pregnancies are high risk and stuff like that. Most people, you know, especially in infertility, would like to have twins, or you know, obviously would not mind that, but they want to be on the safe side, and at my age especially, they usually wouldn't. I don't know if he would have even done that, so probably wasn't even something to consider. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna go in a minute, and I feel nervous, but it's like an excited nervous. I'm just like, I don't know, it's so strange because I've never had an ultrasound with a baby in it before. I've seen like my ovaries way more than any woman should ever see their ovaries. I've seen like my uterus, I've seen all of it, just none of it with a baby in it. So it's totally different experience, much better experience, but this is totally different. So I don't honestly really know what to expect. It's just different for me. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's normal to have a little nerves before your first ultrasound, but I feel good.
Well, baby, can I have you just come around that way, I think. All right, so let me show you the measurements first. We calculate gestational age based on the size of the baby. We know you should be right at 7 weeks based on when we put the embryo back.
Okay.
So this measurement's called a crown rump length. Crown rump length of right at about 10 millimeters exactly correlates with 7 weeks. So that tells us the baby's growing right on track. Heart rate should be between about 120 and 150 beats a minute. That's the baby's heart pulses, nice evenly spaced pulses, so a good heart rhythm. Heart rate right in the middle of normal, that's 135, that's perfect. So this picture shows the placement of the pregnancy sac right where it's supposed to be. Top of the uterus, front of the uterus, back of the uterus. This is the cervix. So the pregnancy sac is all the way to the top of the cavity where the best blood supply is. So all the measurements look good. So now, let's do a little video clip of the heartbeat. Give me just a second to get him kind of focused in, and then we'll get you a good little video.
I saw it right away when he first did it. That's
really cool. Here we go. There's the heart beating right there. So all that's baby.
Yeah. Well, isn't it crazy? It's crazy.
They're so cute at that age.
That's amazing.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Strong, everything looks just the way it's supposed to at this point.
Yep.
When we see that the size is right and the heartbeat's over 120, the miscarriage rate's really low. So that's what we wanted to see today. So what's going to happen now is once a week we're going to check your blood level. And as this baby and placenta grow, the placenta is going to make more and more estrogen and progesterone, and we'll have to give you less and less and less, and that way your level will stay perfect.
Right.
So we won't get it back today, so you stay on the same dose. We'll call you tomorrow, and then a week later we'll repeat it. And we'll just keep lowering. In the meantime, you can call your OBGYN doctor and say, okay, I'm 7 weeks pregnant. When do you want to see me? And usually between 8 and 10 weeks, they like to get you in.
Okay, so we are back home. It is obviously still the same day. We went today and got to see our baby. We got the little pictures right here, and you already saw on the clips, but I'll show you these pictures. I'll have to put these pictures in my pregnancy update too. So yeah, that's what the baby is looking like. Super cute. And our tech, I don't know if you heard that clip, but our ultrasound tech said that they're really cute at this age. I thought that was cute. But it was the coolest experience ever. The little heart was, as soon as the tech, like, because you have to do transvaginal ultrasound still at this stage. So as soon as he used the wand and like just as soon as he showed me the screen, because thankfully he showed me the screen at the very beginning and then he did all of the measurements. So I knew everything was okay, but he just still had to do measurements. So he turned the screen around and showed me the heartbeat, because right away as soon as he started the ultrasound you could see the heartbeat, and it was just like so strong, just flickering away. Manny wasn't in there yet. They actually had said, I went in and I asked the lady at the front desk, she's always there, I asked her if Manny could come in, and she said no. And then she said, well, you could ask, and she said the guy's name, the text name, you can ask him when you get in there, but probably not. And so I was like, okay. So I asked him because I could tell that he was like in a good mood about it. I mean, he's a really nice guy anyway. He's always been super nice, really like him. I always have him, except for a couple times before egg retrieval, I pretty much always have him. So anyway, before we went in, he told me like, make sure you bring your phone in so like you can, he didn't say so you can record, but obviously that's why. I was like, make sure you bring your phone in there. I'm like, okay. So when I went in, I said, hey, I'm assuming husbands still aren't allowed to be in here. And he was like, well, yeah. And then he's like, is your husband here? And I told him Manny was in the hallway and he wanted to come in, but you know, I told him he probably couldn't, but we were just kind of waiting around in case for some reason he could. And he said that he was going to take the measurements and everything, and then he'd bring Manny in. So he did let Manny come in, which is really great. And I know so many of you going through this right now during COVID don't get that. So I'm really blessed that Manny got to come into this appointment finally. So that was really exciting. It was so cool to see the little heartbeat. I cannot get over it. We are so excited. We just cannot get over it. It's longer than 3 minutes or 2 minutes, Manny. But we just literally cannot get over it. And it was just, I mean, we'll never get over it. This is the coolest thing that's ever happened to us, and we are so blessed, and God is so kind. He's been so kind and so good to us, and truly has kept every promise. I look back on the beginning of this journey, which you would see in these videos, and how I truly didn't know what was going to happen, and the days like this stuff seemed like so far off. It seemed like just a fantasy, honestly. And I believed that one day it would happen, but it was just, there were a lot of days where there was a lot of pain and just so much, you know, that we were going through, and just seeing, you know, ultrasounds over and over of just an empty uterus, and, you know, looking at all of this, all of the follicles and all the things, but never a baby. And now to just be 7 weeks pregnant with a baby, the doctor said, we met with the doctor after, he said everything looks good. And we're actually not going back there for a while until next transfer, I guess, because they just said that I have to go to do my blood work somewhere local. Thankfully, they let me do it locally because it's a pretty far drive to go do blood work at our fertility clinic. So anyway, we're doing that locally, and we'll be doing that every week until we completely wean off of medication, because it's time already to start that process of weaning off certain medications, and progesterone and oil shots are coming to an end probably in the next few weeks. So anyway, we're so excited about this baby. We are just overjoyed, can't believe it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And I wanted to say to anybody still on the journey, you know, I know many people watching are gonna have children, and they're gonna be on the other side maybe of an infertility journey, or a lot of people are going to be right in the middle of it and feeling like I felt at the beginning of this series, where it's like, when is this happening, and not all this other stuff, and it feels like you're working towards something that nobody can promise you is going to happen. And you know, God makes those promises and he keeps them, let me tell you. But, you know, God is close to the brokenhearted. He binds up your wounds, and he is faithful to do what he says that he's going to do. And so I'm praying for all of you. Let us know, either in the comments, or maybe just message me on Instagram. If you're uncomfortable leaving like a public comment, that's totally fine, about a specific way that I could pray for you, because my heart and our heart will always be with the infertility community. And just because we're on this side of it, you know, with a baby, and we're on the brighter side of it, we're at the light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't mean that we'll ever forget what that darkness was like. And I always tell God I never want to forget that, because I feel like that's the only way truly that I can relate to people that are going through it, is remembering what it was like to be in the trenches. And it's really hard, and there's devastating days. And so my heart is with you. I'm praying for you. And he's still a miracle worker. He's still the same God that he's always been. So trust him. And yeah, I'm praying for you guys. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Make sure you subscribe while you're here, because I'm going to be vlogging this whole pregnancy and labor and delivery and the baby and all the stuff. So make sure that you subscribe so you can continue to stay updated. And then a future transfer, we will definitely be vlogging that as well. So anyway, thank you for watching. Remember, you are incredible. Jesus loves you, and we hope you'll stick around on our journey. We'll see you next time. Bye.
There is no fear. This is our year. He has no place here.